Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Workers of Resources. We have a lot to do today, so I'm just going to try and get right to it. We're going to start by making this a bit more efficient. You see how there's so many helicopters around here? Yeah, there's just a lot. If they're all working on one building instead of spreading out their workload to other buildings and stuff. Real simple progress here. We're just going to go like this. And then we're going to tell these guys no more auto searching for you. And no more auto searching for you either. You're now going to be having the jobs that you are given, and that is it. So these offices should not have any additional jobs. We're just going to cut these really quick, and then I'm going to assign them to specific tasks instead. So instead of assigning them to just this building, we can get them on the other ones, or I can have them work on some other things that I'd like them to work on. So over here, we're going to need that building done. We're going to need, we have the warehouse and stuff that's been put in place here and getting that ready to go. The fabric factory is going to need to get ready to go. We've got all of these buildings over here that would really, I would really like to get started on getting built too. So we're going to go ahead and get, let's try the parking lots, I guess. These various different buildings here can go, end station, etc. We're just going to get the helicopters and some of that stuff instead. That way, we can have all this stuff be managed by the actual construction office that's in the area for Charlebinsk. And that means it's going to be a little slower in constructing because this road isn't done. But you know what? It's fine because we won't have tons of helicopters just hovering over top of this building all the time, which is using a lot of fuel. Okay, people still aren't using this road, and that's because there's this little patch of mud here. So we're just going to go ahead and get that going. Have that be a high priority for our road crews as well. And let's get some people to work on that. This road is complete though. So we're going to go ahead and get this to be a one-way street. This is going to serve as a really good bypass to that other road. And actually will probably end up serving as the main road to get into here. But we'll see. I suspect it because a lot of the cars that are going into that busy intersection over here are turning right. So the hope is that they will choose to take the one-way road and not this one. If I need to, I can maybe lower the speed limit on this road, which would really discourage its use over other alternative paths. So we'll see. Okay, so we've got the traffic thing, I think, kind of getting worked on. We're going to touch base with it later. Another thing I can do here, though, since this is a two-way road already, too, is I can go in and start getting this stuff paved as well. So we're just going to allow them to pave this and this and this. We're going to cut this whole path off here as well. They can still get in from this side and get where they need to go, but they can't come from this way anymore. So road crews are going to go in and just get these done too. Sorry if I sound like I'm in a rush. I just have a lot of stuff to do and my daughter's going to wake up and I need to get this done. All right. So coming over here, looks like you guys are waiting for gravel. I'll allow that hover for now. They'll eventually space themselves out. Okay. One of the other things, hang on, I see the electricity problems is a little bit disheartening because we shouldn't have any electricity problems at all. A little bit light on the workers over here at the coal plant, huh? I think maybe the incinerator doesn't need so many people. Maybe we'll bring this down to 15. The trash sorting, I think we're probably good at like 25 here. Let's bring that down a little bit too. And I definitely want the coal ore and stuff getting processed more, but we just need more of you guys that are getting off of this stop to get over here into this place here. This road is now paved, and so we got asphalt all the way out here now. Feels pretty good. I can go ahead and start deleting some of these bypass roads that I built earlier because they're not needed anymore. Like that one there is not needed. Actually, I think I already replaced most of these, but we don't really need this road either. So this road can go. Same thing with this one. We don't need those. We'll probably end up making this one gravel because they do travel to this one to pick stuff up and drop stuff off over here. So I think I could probably live with maybe like this stretch of road right here being gravel. So more permanent road right here. That's fine with me. We'll get that whole stretch to be gravel. They'll get on that in their own time. Another thing I need to focus on is trains and the repair of trains, but also the refueling of trains. You see, we've got some trains in here that have been getting repaired. So this one's at 11% now. Seems pretty good. This one over here is at 5% wear and tear. So they are getting repaired. You don't have to have a place connected to it. I wanted to be clear about that from what I said before. You don't need something connected to this to repair these, all right? That's not what's needed. The reason why we're connecting it, though, is because I want these trains that have dedicated routes to do this on their own, to come here and get repaired on their own. They won't do that on their own unless you have something. This is what I'm told. I haven't been able to verify it. That's why we're doing it, so that I can verify it. But anyway, they will get repaired even if this is not there, because these repair centers have vehicles, and these vehicles will go off to remote sites and they'll go out and repair things, right? So that's been happening throughout the entire Republic this whole time. What we need here, though, is fuel. We still need refueling for these trains, and even though this one over here has it, not all of these trains are going to go that way, I guess. And so some of these trains are going to say, I can't have fuel. If I tell this thing to go, it's not going to go. It's not going to get fuel, which is sucky, but that's just the way that is. So to help this along, I'm going to get another fuel station over here just because. So we're going to pop this over, and it's, again, probably going to be temporary in the long term, but for now, we definitely need something. So I'm going to say right about here is a good spot. Let's bring it a little bit more this way. Right about here is a good spot. We'll fix that track as well, too. We're going to pull the signals on this side back. In fact, I think doing that right there alone just fixed the track. Very good. We're going to pull the signals back there, and then I think the signals are actually okay on this side. Wooden tracks, just because they're, of course, temporary, just like the other ones are. We're going to go this way with it. There we go. And also this way with it. And then we'll just have you meet up there, and you can go there. Okay? And you're going to go over like so. And you're going to go over like so. Real simple solutions for a real simple problem. Okay? Let's get the dirt road to go across here as well, and then we'll just connect it on this side like this. Well, I thought we would. Maybe we'll go across and just do that then. How you like that? All right. So this is going to give us access to be able to construct the track as well as construct the station. Once we do that, we can then get the fuel rats to come over here and keep this thing refueled a little bit quicker to do that than to have them running all the way over there to do it too. And this provides yet another way for people to, for trains anyway, to get refueled. So a good thing. But to get out of the station, they're still not going to be able to get there right away just because of the way the station is designed. Which brings me to my third track connection over here. We're going to take this track connection, go out about like this, and then we're going to bring it around and go like that with it. There we go. So that's our design to get our trains to get refueled again, okay? And it's going to take a little bit of time, but it should be fairly fast. We've got, you know, the boards and stuff that are in here and all that. So let's start getting that built. We're going to need some of these signals and stuff probably turned around just to allow them to get into these little places. So these are all two-way already. That's pretty good. We're going to go two-way right there, two-way right here. And we'll go two-way over here as well, just to kind of get them to where they can all move around in here. The only reason I'm seeing purple here is because of this crossing still existing, and the crossing does not need to exist. So we can also cancel the railway here and here to get rid of that, because all these tracks are here. Okay, not all the tracks here, but pretty much all the tracks here are done. And once they do this little segment here, they'll be able to... Actually, they won't be able to turn around, will they? Well, they're track builders. I'll manually delete them at that point. I'm all right with that. I want them to get rid of that. So we'll also get demolitions assigned here and here. Get that taken care of. Okay, so lots of tracks can be built. There we go. And we're just going to have to wait for all that to happen before we can get these trains back online, because a lot of these trains are just out of fuel. This one may do its job. Got enough fuel, I think, to maybe make it. Kind of telling me it won't. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. That's unfortunate. Can you go to this stop instead? Yeah. Go to the industrial yard. And on its way to the industrial yard, it should get refueled. Now, this is a 62% wear and tear train, so not the best train to send out of here, but it's okay. I'm all right with it. If it breaks down for a little bit, that's okay. Mostly the reason why trains were stopping was because of fuel anyway. Okay, so got all that done. Just needs time to actually build. We got our farm equipment and stuff over here on this side is making its way over to the scrapyard. At least it should be. A lot of these roads are done all the way up to here. Very nice. We do tend to get roads done very quickly now. Having 2 separate sources for asphalt and 2 different road crews, actually 4 different offices that handle roads, but 3 on the ground, and I'm just counting the helicopters in this mix. We have this little bypass, which is good, and so we can also go ahead and pave this road now as well. We'll leave the gas station open, although we can leave the gas station open pretty easily by just doing this, I guess. Yeah, we'll let them in there for the gas station, and then we'll have this be paved as well. All right, this is going to get taken care of by the Zanoski Rural Office. All good things. All right, I'm going to let this run for a little bit so I can get some of these things done. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to do. I don't know if traffic will be aided by this, but I did want to do it. I'm looking at this right here. So again, still pretty busy. While we're still paving the roads, this is a reality. We've got everybody needing to come in here because this area is shut down and this area is shut down. So this is the only way in right now to the bus stop, and that's why everything is just crammed. I want to make a light here to help with this temporarily, but I can't do that because there's a dirt road in this intersection. If you're going to make stoplights, all roads must be asphalt. They can't be anything else. And so there's a dirt road going into this intersection, so it won't allow me to build this crossroad with lights. So what I have to do is I have to go in and take away that road right there. Take away that road. Now I can make this a light, and hopefully that makes things a little bit more tolerable. We're going to do another cycle. This is all very temporary, but we're going to do another cycle that allows people to get the hell out of the way from this direction. All right, so there we go. And so now this side has its own unique, time where it's going to turn, and that's it. Because of that, we should be able to clear this out of here a little bit easier. We'll see how that works, but this is all temporary until these roads are completed. And I mean, it'll get there, I guess, eventually. Let's see, it's 8, right? We should do 8 on this one and 8 on this one. But of course, these the employment office can't actually, the construction office can't actually get anybody to get on the buses unless the buses can get to the bus stop. So yeah, but once these roads open up, we'll have alternate paths, and that's going to be good. Because at the moment, they're not going to go all the way over here just to come back up here, right? They're going to pad themselves this way. They would probably love to pad themselves this way. It's just it's not done yet. So when this is done, I'll tell you, or I'll show you how it's working out. And then the other path I wanted to make, I think, is right off of this intersection here. Just provide yet another road that they can take. So we're going to go like this as well. Ride that road. And then as soon as this is completed, I'm going to delete this so that this becomes the only crossroad there. Here, and there. And then I might be able to take this across as well. We'll see. But I just need to give alternate routes to handle the high traffic. Okay, I shouldn't have anybody complaining about sports because this place is staffed but barely used. And yet, we still have 89 people not able to participate in sports. 108 not able to participate in sports. It doesn't compute with me right now because this building is accessible by all of these things and they're not using it. So, like, I've lowered the price even to try to help with this, and it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in actually using this. This is the Palace of Sports Dynamo. It's not even like a pool, per se. It's just a sports center, which is accessible by everyone. They can reach it. They're just choosing not to. So that part's a little bit bizarre, too. I'm not sure about that. We probably need more actors here. Since our loyalty is low, we're having a hard time keeping actors staffed. So let's bring it down to 50. We need to get our loyalty up. So 59% happiness. I think we can do better here for sure. Unable to visit hospital 345 times. Let's take a look at this too. So if we look at the average health for citizens, these guys are all really well covered. I don't have a problem there. It looks like this area over here is what's struggling. So there's a couple of 64, 65 over here. Now, what I suspect is happening here is that they're going to this clinic and they're not receiving care. See right here, patients waiting for treatment 30. They're all going to this clinic instead of going to the hospital because the clinic is closer. That's not going to fly. I think these clinics need to be secondary. I wish people would primary the main hospital, but it doesn't look like they're doing that. There's only 10 patients over here. So we're going to have to change that up as well. I'm going to drop a hospital right here. Full hospital right here. All right, about like that should be okay. Let's bring a little bit more space. Just maybe I can get some trees or something there. And good. Okay, we're going to put a hospital here. We can get the helicopters to totally focus on that too. And then I want a road, asphalt road going in like so. That works as well. We'll get the road crews on that too. And then I think we're going to need a waste here as well. So let's do one of these little bins here. And we'll put this right up against like so. And then once this road is built, we'll connect this with a dirt road. And that'll give us our waste collection on there. I can also do an extra waste collector, I suppose, just in case on this side of the street. You can put it over here. You can get started construction on this right away since it's not depending on a road being done first. So we'll get that done. And we'll have construction crews start on that as well. Okay. So once this hospital is built, we'll move the vehicle from here over to here. And then we'll demolish this. And this could become something else, or we could just leave it alone. It doesn't have to be anything. But it's become clear to me that these guys are focusing on going here instead, which is not what I want. I want them to go to the place that has lots of capacity, which is over here, and they're just not doing it. So by having two buildings with good capacity, I can ensure that we have good health for our citizens, I think. Let's take a look at crime. We've been trying to solve that. It takes a little bit of time, so let's take a look at it. You need to ignore this until it's 1993. Then you can look at the this year part, but at the moment, this is all kind of old information from before. There's still a pretty hefty scroll bar here. I want to note, though, that most of the percentages to solve, the chances to solve here, though, are pretty high. But it is still pretty, like, high up there, though. Like, we're definitely getting a lot of cases. Over here, not a super big scroll bar, and it looks like our investigations are progressing quite well. I don't know if they're fast enough to actually convict, but we're getting there. And then if I take a look at the courthouse, we don't have much of a scroll bar here either. That means we should be... Oh, garbage containers overflowed. Ooh, where's the garbage container for this? Did I miss a garbage container for this building too? To be fair, I haven't really needed to. It hasn't been a whole lot of people in here, but now there's persistently people in here. But still, also to be fair, this is a known mechanic and I've just messed it up. So how about we put this right here? Pick one of these big ones right here. That should take care of that. And then dirt road there. And we build there. All right. I'm going to let this run for a little bit so we can start seeing some of this stuff get done. We got some track builders and stuff over here kind of waiting to get started on their work. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we got traffic backups here now from this direction. I think it's probably just my light timing. I've got the light going this direction too long and this one not long enough. So let's take a look. Yeah, my intervals are actually quite bad here. So I think what I'll do here is I'll bring you down to 15, bring this one down to 15, and bring this one up to 20. And then I think I'll just manually manage the cycle for a little bit here just to clear this backlog. And then we can probably have a better setup here. There's another thing I can do, though, to help this along. And that is to regulate speed limits, right? We have the ability to set speed limits on certain roads, and cars will bias towards traveling on roads that allow them to go faster. So if I have a lot of cars getting backed up right here, then that's something I should look at to dissuade cars from going from this intersection this direction and encourage them to use other directions, as it looks like we have all the roads paved now. What we can do instead, I already have this as a yield sign here, and I've reconnected this dirt road to there instead of here. What I could do here is right here where there's like a gap, so between the walking path and this road, we can go over to the road tools, and instead of placing a waypoint, we can place a speed limit. So I can go over to the speed limit sign here, and right here on this little node, I can tick that. And then all I have to do is essentially just change the speed limit. We use E and Q for this. So let's say I change the speed limit to 50 here. All right, now I've made the speed limit on this road from here to here 50. And in so doing, I've made it less attractive to go this direction. So cars are now more likely to go that way if they want to go left. And likewise, I think if we do it from the other side, they're more likely to take a different approach as opposed to turning right here. So if I was to do it on this side too, I don't actually know if this works this way, but I'll do 50 like this. So now I've made it less attractive to use this road. Hopefully that leads to a lot less people going cross traffic here. And if that's the case, I could have this light be a little bit longer. So we have a 20 interval here already. I think that's probably long enough, but we can maybe go back and say, hey, how about we only do like an 8 interval on this side, right? We can tweak it to make it be the best, for this traffic system and its needs, right? So we just play with the lights until we get a good balance here. But by putting the speed limit signs in, it should be encouraging more vehicles to use this road when possible, as opposed to coming up here and then wanting to go left or even turn right. Using this road to turn right is going to happen with the buses. That's something that's unavoidable because they have to go this way. But another thing I could do is make this a one-way road and force the buses to go this direction and maybe around, but that kind of defeats the purpose of where I've built this bus station. So for now, we'll see if the speed limit changes will do anything. I should notice a good amount of cars using this, and we have a good amount of cars using this as well, which was the whole point. It's kind of spreading them around. I've also got the hospital done over here, and I think getting a hospital chopper here is always a good idea, right? I think we have the room for it. We should do it. So let's put a helicopter port right here, right next to this, like so. And then we'll just have the dirt road, and that's it. And then we'll have this be built by crews as well. So we can now treat more patients, but we have a sewage buildup problem, of course, because I totally forgot to do about sewage here. So what we're going to have to do is probably add another switch here, because we don't have a whole lot of connections left. So why don't we grab the switches, and we have this one port there, like that's all that's left there. So if I was to put you, let's say here, I'd like to turn this to where the walking path is facing the right direction. Can we do that? There we go. So if I put this right here, does this connect? Can't build it due to infrastructure right there. Does this connect if I go with a maximum pipe right there? Okay, good. That gives me 3 connection points there. And then we'll take a single and we'll bring this. And I realize that these are pretty expensive ways of doing it, but I know no other ways. So that's going to give us sewage on that hospital. And then I'm kind of going this way with it to make the pipe shorter, but also to like get coverage in here when we start building here. So perhaps we go right next to this oil tank. like over on this side. Probably good. Like right here. And then we take this pipe and, you know, let's just make it to where we could possibly have a medium. It says requires slope. We should be able to get in here. Okay, so height elevation isn't good for us doing this. So I'm gonna have to get another sewage pump. And if I put this pump right here, can I get you medium into here? And then can I get a medium pipe from here into that? Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. All right, submit that. And then we just need helicopters and stuff. You guys can help build all these things, right? Because you guys are good at that. Yeah, absolutely. Can't get to this one. That's okay. We've got people on that one. And then we're just going to need all the walking paths hooked up for everything. So there's that there. And then this one will go along the track. And we'll hook it up to the road right there. All right. It's going to take a little bit of time to get that to happen. This technical service office should have a sewage truck. It does. It has one sewage truck. And so it can go to the hospital and periodically empty it. But I think overall, we're still better off with this single hospital treating 14 patients than we are with this one really struggling with the load that it had. So once this garbage stand is empty too, we'll probably look to like add sports and stuff over here. And then I think our crime rate is also, I think the orphanage is really contributing to our crime rate because criminality is actually going up with our orphanages. And so this is the part where if you don't have enough tutors, you really start to hit your economy hard with crime rates. So I do need to pull back on the required loyalty for my orphanages so that I can get enough tutors so that we don't basically breed a whole bunch of criminals, right? We don't want to add to their criminality. And so that's something that we're definitely going to have to do. So I'm going to reduce government loyalty percentage down to 45%. That'll allow us to have more tutors and hopefully reduce criminality over time. But if we're breeding a bunch of criminals, that's why our crime system is overflowing. And now our police station is back to being really, really full again. Both of them are. There's just so much crime in the city. I'm actually not entirely sure how to solve it. It's like a pandemic of crime right now. Like more police might be the answer, but it's also just expensive, both with vehicles, maintaining them all, and then having that many workers on police force. But if it's needed, it's needed, right? Like we're just going to need a lot more people, I guess. We're still holding firm just under 20,000, but this crime rate thing is a big issue. I think I have to, right? I mean, we're at the point where I've tried 2 police stations. That wasn't enough. So now we go for a third, I guess. Doesn't seem to be a way out of this. There's an awful lot of people right here. But I think most of the crimes, where are the crimes being committed, I guess? We can focus the police on that first. So let's go to our population statistics. That's not it. We want overlays. And we want crimes, minor crimes reported. So that doesn't seem like a lot. Right here, 53 crimes reported on this store right here. Food and meat are missing from this store, which is interesting because it shouldn't be. We're gonna have to try to do something about that. Is the trucks coming in to deliver it right now? Yeah, meat trucks too. So like they have stuff, but people are stealing things from this store all the time. So what's the deal there? 53 crimes, medium crimes, 16 of them here, serious crimes, 5 of them here. So this is a real problem area, and it's odd because it's just on the road from the police station. Like you can't get any closer than that. So that is a little bizarre, I gotta admit. Don't know why that would be the way that is. I'll connect that walking path over here. Now they can just flow in here a little bit easier, I guess. But I'm really not sure why our police are not patrolling this store. The number of shoppers out front is insane too. Like there's just so many people waiting instead of going over to this store, right? So maybe it's one of those things where I just delete this store and put something else here. Maybe this store doesn't need to exist. We have this one and this one. It's another one of those cases where people are trying to go here when it makes no sense to, when they could easily get over here. You know, you got like 100 people, 200 people now waiting outside the shop. There's 100 capacity over here, and there's like 50 additional capacity over here. So I feel like they should be just going to one of these other stores. And they probably are after they realize they, you know, can't get what they need. But instead of that, why don't we just tell them to go to the other stores, right? And then I can also free up a logistics connection as well. And I turn this into sports. Everyone's been wanting more sport, right? 17 not able to play sports, not able to play sports. I don't get why. There's a sport hall right here, and you're barely, like, nobody's using it, you know? Everybody's in range for the sport hall and nobody's using it, so it's a bit bizarre, I gotta admit. I think this road needs to be 40 now. Let's really make this, let's make this super slow, all right? 40 is your speed limit now. What are you gonna do with that? Choose a different road, dorks. I mean, if they want to go straight, then that's the only thing that makes sense, right? They have to use this road to go down this way. Which is why I was thinking, like, if I was to, you know, recreate this, it might be worth just gutting the whole thing and making that roundabout. We take out take out the Lenin statue, gut all of these little connections here. We have this extra road now and everything so that they can get into the water treatment. So it's not going to shut down the water treatment. It'll shut down the buses temporarily, but we could alternately just give them a dirt road right here that at least gets them on this path, and then they can go around. But I need to remake this to be like this one. All right, this is a really important intersection because the buses come in here and everybody's kind of waiting here. So we'll have to take a look at it. I think maybe getting rid of, I mean, it sounds weird, but if there's an area that's crime ridden and it's like a single store causing all these things, 54 crimes now, so another one was committed there just now, right? If we have a lot of that happening there, then we can just gut that. 80 crimes committed over there, though. 113 committed over here. So this is just a place where everybody commits crimes. It's maybe not the problem. Maybe it's not entirely the problem. What I think is the problem, yeah, if you're looking at, like, you know, like, take foundational issues in your house, for example, as one example, okay? Foundational issue in your house, you have a crack in your walls behind your basement and things like that, right? If you're getting a lot of like musty mold, that kind of thing, you have moisture creeping in, you might put a dehumidifier down there, right? But a dehumidifier is just getting rid of the symptom, not the underlying cause. And so, like, I could maybe add more police, and that would help to enforce crime more, but the underlying cause, I suspect, are the orphanages. I think we're raising kids to be criminals, and when they grow up, they start being criminals, right? And we need to get their criminality down, and that's just like, it's a snowball effect. If our loyalty drops, then we start having less tutors because the requirements for our tutors are too high. And then if we have less tutors, we raise more criminals, and then the criminals go on to create more crimes, which lowers happiness and loyalty, which then has even a bigger problem to get tutors, which then breeds more criminals. You see what I'm saying? So I think the orphanages need to be staffed with high quality staff, and I think we actually need more orphanages. At the moment, we need to spread them out a bit more, and having a lot more people working in orphanages seems to be the approach that I think I have to do. I didn't want to do that, but I think so. We're going to go with the big ones. We're going to have another one, and I'm going to put the other one, I think, over here on this side. If it'll let me, like right here, it'll be okay. Another orphanage right here. Right? And then I could probably get one in here. Once I got this whole place, I could get another one to be right here. Probably. Depends on how I put the road in, but with the electrical cables being there, I'm not so sure. But this is in range of heat and everything, which is why I'm doing that. And power. Speaking of power, we need to hook this stuff back up to the roads before it catches fire. So how about we, we'll go like this. Like this. Nope. Let's go, yep, like this. Come around like this, and then maybe we'll connect like that. Then you're there, you're there, you're there. This is going to get connected to the roundabout directly. We'll go ahead and make this a gravel road. And then we'll have our helicopters build this, just getting us another orphanage, and then we can connect that to the rest of the supply chain, logistics, etc. getting all the resources there too. We need food to be delivered here more often though. I can't have people out front. You know, like we have maximum shoppers here too. Like everybody's maxed out shopping right here. I just feel like this store is out of place. I feel like they should all be going to the other stores, but even then we're kind of getting overloaded here, right? Interestingly enough, we're getting overloaded. Maybe I make these bigger shops more attractive by lowering prices. Perhaps that will take care of it. If we have a higher rating here, maybe that will help. And going over to the store that has a bigger capacity. You know, maybe this small shopping center, doesn't look like I'm allowed to manipulate prices here. That's interesting. So I have no idea how to do that. Oh, maybe it's... No, I didn't click the wrong thing. It's definitely correct. Yeah. So I don't know. We're going to have to take a look at it a little bit more in depth. I think this is one of those things where you have to really just laser focus it and just look at all the numbers. And I just haven't done that yet because time. So allow me to do that. And then when we come back for the next one, I'll give you what my proposed solution is. In addition to just adding more orphanages and, you know, making sure that the children in care ratio, tutors to children ratio are a little bit better. I do wish the population I could see, like, can I see how many orphans are in my republic? Like, is that possible to see as far as an overlay goes? Lifespan, children. I mean, I can see the children. Can't go to school because there's no school places to go. I don't think I have anybody that's doing that, but I just want to see if there are any, you know, like there's lots of children being born, and when their parents leave or die, right, then they become orphans. Is our heating place done? I think it's probably about time to get that going too. We could probably get this going. We need a bus to bring people directly to here, but I'm going to allow this to complete now so that we can start getting more heat sent out to this place. So let's do that. And then we're going to need, this is all for power, so that's not as important as long as this is powered, which it is not. So it is still important. We should probably do something like this just to make sure this pump does get power. Are you gonna... Not gonna connect here, eh? Come on now. Alright, we'll do this, I guess. Have to get that built too. All this needs to be built, so we'll have to get this rush ordered as well. At least one of these wind turbines need to be functioning. In the meantime, though, maybe we don't need to rush that so much. We could just say there is another wind turbine right here. That certainly would take care of the power for that pump, I would think anyway. And it can also supplement by giving other people power. Honestly, the time it takes to construct the big one versus the small one is really negligible. So whatever, we'll just put a big one in here. And that will definitely power all this stuff too. But we're going to build this other stuff anyway. I'm just going to make sure that we get this constructed first so that this pump is operational. And when we come back for the next one, I'll have what I hope anyway is a proposed solution for the crime problem, because it is not fixed at all. We have so many crimes. We are not getting to them, and it is becoming overwhelming. So let's focus in on that, because we can't get any bigger until this problem is solved. There's no point in building out additional parts for Zernovsky and all that stuff until we get the crime issue solved. We have to get that solved. If I look at my police station over here, this one's doing fine, actually. This one's not a big deal. So crime and Zernovsky managed, right? We can expand over here, which they are building slowly, but they're building. But over here, I really need to focus on this area specifically with all the crime. So thank you for watching, everybody. I do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.